In honor of our Jewish friends, I went with regular cream cheese. I heard a Jew bitch about me enough yesterday. I've heard a particular Jew's feelings very, very much.
Yeah.
And that particular Jew seems to be having a very, very hard time. So I'm not going to try and agitate him. My God, I'm going to end up killing the guy accidentally.
He might have a stroke.
April at first when I said, fucking Redbar's talking about us and he's not mentioning us, and it's really bothering him. She's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. She actually ended up coming to me yesterday and goes, oh my God, 3 hours later, he's still pissed about you.
Twice. I mentioned twice.
So
that'd be 3 times.
That'd be 3 times total. And he's still pissed. And it's affecting his mood his entire show because he's yelling at his wife. We're going to talk about it later.
Ooh.
But he's yelling at his wife. He's yelling at his audience. He's in the Bring Back group telling him not to listen to our show. I mean, I don't even think I was trying to rattle the guy. And I got to tell you something, man. My Redbar fandom has gone way down after this. Not because he doesn't want people to listen to me. I mean, I've been in this game long enough to know that if someone doesn't want their listeners listening to you, they're afraid. They're worried that they might lose some people. So that part's an honor. That I would have had fun with forever. It was the fact that he's been such a little bitch about it that's made me lose respect for him. I'm like, it's okay. I'll make a boxing analogy because I did have boxing yesterday. And I know this is kind of gross for some people, but the boxing analogy would be, you've heard so much about this fighter and people are like, this guy's dangerous. Be careful. Watch out. And then you go into spar with him and then you realize, oh, nobody's walked forward on this guy. Right. Like, nobody's made this guy work all 3 rounds.
They've all sat back.
It's kind of an exposure thing. And, like, to watch him not be able to take the slightest bit of heat is really telling, because I feel like every comedian, they're so worried about Redbar. And we've said it before, oh, no, what if Redbar? We don't want Redbar to know about this show. Well, now that Redbar knows about this show, I got to be honest. And the amount of comments, I thought I was going to get comments from Redbar fans going, fuck you, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. Another one last night in the comments section. And this had to be like it's not a lot. It's like 5 people saying this and like 3 or 4 people being like, oh, I don't like you. And one of them's the Down syndrome Moana guy. So I don't really count that.
That does not count.
But you've got like people in the chat yesterday going, oh man, you know what? I used to be a Redbar fan. Now I'm watching your show. I like your show now. And I'm like, oh, that's very cool. I like that you, I discovered you from the Redbar drama, and now I watch you every morning. And it's like, oh, man, that's very
Oh, but you were supposed to be illegal to them.
Yeah, I was forbidden fruit. Redbar banned people from listening to me. And then, and what an idiot. I don't know if the whatever disease he's got is eating his brain, if it's ALS, whatever the hell it is. But you should know better, you dummy, than to go, don't listen to this thing.
That just makes people go listen to the thing.
That's mistake number 1 when you're talking into these. You talk into these, you got to know rule number 1 is you can't worry about other shows and if your listeners go to check them out. Everybody we've ever ripped on, every show we've ever shit on, every show we're shitting on now, go watch all of them. Go check them out. Spend 10 minutes. If you like that show that we think sucks more than you like this show, then we've got work to do.
That's true.
We've got to do a better job.
Be a little more confident in your product and that they'll come back.
If you ever see me going, don't listen to that, I'm banning you from listening to that show, make sure I know in the chat, like, dude, this is gay. You've said this is gay before. You suck if you do this. Let me know. Hold me accountable, because I feel like some of the nerds that listen to that guy, they don't hold him accountable anymore because they're just like the comics.
Certainly not after the year off. I mean, They just were happy to have him back.
They're just like the comics who are like, oh, no, just don't, oh, no, don't take this guy on. Oh, no. Guys, he's got shit. He's nothing. He spent April was catching up with his show, and I would check in periodically, and I'm like, he's still on this stupid Tony Hinchcliffe thing and still hasn't said a funny thing about it.
I know.
Was it bad? The Hinchcliffe thing was bad.
The Hinchcliffe thing was bad.
Yeah.
He did have a couple good segments towards the end.
But then also where he comes in 3 hours later and goes, "Oh, I'm going to talk about this Steel Toe show's bothering me. I'm going to shit on them a little more." And like shitting on us, like fine, that's what people are worried about. The people are worried about, Redbar shitting on them and going after them. When he just kind of passive aggressively whines about it.
They're very passive comments.
Oh, it's passive.
I know you said we're going to cover it more later, so I won't give details.
I think we're in.
Yeah.
We're in. We'll cut it out later.
It goes passive enough so they've got this cute tiny little dog that they used to have fun with on the show, and Jules, his wife, would make comments, "Oh, Chula's doing this cute thing." She tried to say a cute thing about Chula yesterday, and Mike absolutely snapped at her and said, "Don't bring up the dog.
That's hack.
Other podcasts, stupid. It's stupid. Don't bring up the dog." And it was very obvious.
Who brings up their dog on their show? Oh, Mikey bothered. Mike is so bothered.
That one was pretty weird and specific in my opinion.
I thought he was sarcastic on his bring back group at first. When he was like, "Oh, these guys, don't go listen to them." I thought he was being sarcastic. I'm like, he can't be this gay. And then it turns out he is that gay. He's just he's turning into Howard Stern. He's like an old passive aggressive Jewish man. And I've got to say, on one hand, I'm beaming. As you can see, I'm lit up like a Christmas tree because I never thought I'd have Redbar in my pocket. And now I've got Redbar in my pocket. I'm taking fans away from him. And for one simple reason, Mike, it's fun to be here. It's not fun to be there anymore. You're yelling at your audience. You're yelling at people who want to spread the word, the people posting clips. Those people, by the way, made you more popular.
Yes, they did.
And they kept you alive.
Relevant.
Over the last year. So, I mean, you can go after me if it makes you feel better. If you're sensing something from us that makes you feel heat, I'm honored. But, dude, with the passive-aggressive gayness, it's like for you, for Mr. I'm the alpha, I'll tell everyone what's gay and what's cool and whatever, you're slipping, man. You're falling off. And, I mean, here's an offer to Redbar. I can rescue you. I can teach you how to get back to maybe closer to what you were, but you're going to need some help, dude, and I don't think you're capable. I think you're spiraling too much to recover it on your own. I think you need some outside assistance. And the yelling at Jules is not a bit anymore.
No, that used to be a funny thing where she would giggle after she got yelled at for something unimportant, and now he's just absolutely snapping at her.
He's frustrated.
And almost calling her cunt, I swear, one time yesterday.
He's taking breaks every 20, 30 minutes. Like, he can't do his show anymore.
That woman is holding him up, by the way, taking care of him and running the set. So.
I think that's the problem with Redbar right now, is that he had a very human thing happen to him, a very vulnerable, weak human thing happen to him. He got sick and he had to take a year off.
Yeah.
But he came back.
That sucks.
He came back and there was no humanity in him. There was no thank you. There was no, hey guys, I'm going to drop my shtick. And that's exactly what it is now. It's shtick. It's not him. He's not being real. That's the problem with Redbar. We're realizing it's all just douchey Chicago shtick mixed with Jewish passive-aggressive whininess. And it's just such a gay look. He didn't come back after a year and go, "Look, guys, here's what happened. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do the show for you, but you guys have kept me going. You've been doing this, you've been doing that." He won't do it. Redbar is so afraid to look vulnerable because he's almost mind-fucked himself into this weird paranoia stage where he can't show any vulnerability or humanity because he's worried that will be ripped apart. And instead of him just trying it and seeing what happens, he goes, "No, I'll be ripped apart, so I can't do that, so I'll purposely do this." And it's fucking him up.
Being one of his listeners myself, I was really hoping that he would address some things and maybe catch up over what we've missed the last year, both with him and his people. None of that happened. He just kind of picked up and he expected everyone to just jump back in with both feet.
It's weird. He's shutting everyone out while trying to do a show for an audience, which is a really awkward thing.
Yeah.
Really awkward, and you can tell. But anyway, I get it. Look, my problem is most of our audience has no idea who Redbar is. And we do have people who have become Steel Toe fans instead of Redbar fans. So I'll clip this out for later. People can watch it if they want. We won't spend too much time on today's show. 5 minutes at the top of the show. Not a big deal. People don't mind. We do have to talk about a lot of other stuff today, though.